Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with women's lacrosse coach Brooke Diamond, baseball captain Anthony Cardona, and men's lacrosse captain Gerard Savarese. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee sports. As always, you can find all of the latest WNL athletics news in detail at generalsports.com. The men's track and field team placed second at the ODAC Indoor Championship in Lynchburg on Friday. It's the best team finish for the General since 1993. First-year Xander Tallman was the athlete of the meet. Meanwhile, the WNL women's team came in third. At the ODAC basketball tournament in Salem, the women fell in the semifinals to eventual champion Randolph-Macon, and the men lost in the quarterfinals to top seed Virginia Wesleyan. Back in Lexington, the wrestling team placed eighth at the Centennial Conference Championship. Elsewhere, baseball opened up ODAC play with a doubleheader sweep of Emory and Henry. Men's tennis knocked off Salisbury. Men's lacrosse fell at 15th ranked Denison, and women's lacrosse edged Stevenson 10-9. With me now is women's lacrosse coach Brooke Diamond. Brooke, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You won your first two games with dominant offensive performances, and that Stevenson game on Sunday seemed to hinge on some good goalkeeping from Catherine Farrer and, of course, the game winner from Wilton McGargle. How beneficial is it to be able to win in a variety of ways?
It's very beneficial for us. I think, our seniority is in our attack right now. We have the most experience there. So it didn't surprise me that our attack really carried the load the first couple of games we had. But as we had Fed break and the week together as a team to develop, we've really seen our defense come and develop and grow together. And that, I think, is going to benefit us quite a bit going forward, that, hopefully our defense and our attack are both points of strength for us.
What's the dynamic like between your experienced players and the very big and very talented first-year class that you have?
It's pretty strong. Fed break was great for us to bond together as a team, and our senior leadership this year is extremely strong. All 6 seniors know what they want as a class, and know what it's going to take to achieve those goals, and are showing the first years and the rest of our underclassmen what it's going to take on a daily basis in terms of effort, in terms of attention to detail, and in terms of training to get us to those goals.
Your team is the overwhelming favorite to repeat as ODAC champions. How will the Generals deal with those expectations?
I think winning the ODAC title is always our first and primary goal every year. We know that that's our ticket, our guaranteed ticket to NCAAs. So that always is our first goal, and we definitely know that we have a target on our back as usual, and are looking forward to living up to those expectations. I think it's something that the team takes pride in and is excited for.
You've got Franklin and Marshall coming up this weekend. The Diplomats will be followed in short order by the likes of Salisbury and Cortland and Catholic. What do you expect from your team in those tough non-conference games?
First of all, we're taking it one game at a time. F&M is our next opponent, and they're obviously a strong and definitely a program that we very much respect, given their success the last few years. But we know every year is different, and we know that we've had some great experience under our belt this week, and I expect my team to go out and fight hard, and I expect us to be in a place to win those games.
Brooke, thanks for joining us. Good luck against F&M this weekend.
Thank you.
With me now is Anthony Cardona, senior baseball captain from Lower Gwinnett, Pennsylvania. Anthony, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeremy.
The Generals lost 4 starters from last year's batting order, but things are coming together pretty nicely for the offense so far this year. How pleased have you been with the way the Generals are hitting?
Well, anytime you lose 4 starters who are a staple in our lineup for the majority of their careers, it's tough. But at the same time, a lot of those guys had some of the most successful seasons when they were younger and as underclassmen. And this year's team, there's no hiding it. We're young, we're inexperienced, but I really see that as a strength for us in that these guys are coming out there every day, eager to prove themselves, and it's really helping us, especially in the early parts of the season. We're scoring some runs and we're putting together some real nice innings, and we just look for to keep that going throughout the season and stay consistent.
You've changed spots in the batting lineup. What's your role as the number 2 hitter?
My role as number 2 hitter is to set the table for the guys behind us, especially this year with the new bats. We really want to emphasize playing small ball, and so that means bunting and hit and running in situations where I got to get the leadoff guy over in scoring position for the guys behind me. Obviously, also I want to get on base and have those guys get me over into scoring position so we can score some runs. But that's really my role as opposed to last year, which was more of a run producer.
Including 5 games this week, you play 14 contests at home in the month of March. What kind of home field advantage do the Generals have at Captain Dick Smith Field?
Well, first and foremost, playing at Captain Dick Smith Field is a privilege. I mean, can't thank our heads groundkeeper Charlie enough for keeping the field in such meticulous shape. So it's been a highlight of mine for the past 4 years to be able to go out there and practice and play on that field every day. So it's great to come home. Also gives fans, professors a chance to come out and watch a game at a beautiful field. But more importantly, it also really allows us to take advantage of, we know all the nuances of that field, whether balls are going to stay down, the outfield dimensions real well. And most of all, plays into our strength, which is, I think we're a really resilient team. No matter what the deficit is, we always are confident that we have the ability to come back. And playing at home and having that bottom of the ninth, or the last licks, if you will, really gives us that chance to finish off comebacks, which we really feel that we're capable of completing.
What are the keys to a successful 2011 season for the Generals?
I think there's 3 things that are key to our success. First of all, Coach Sticks told us, told me in my 4 years here, before every game, come ready to play and play hard. And one of the things Laswell and I have talked about this year is making sure that we expand that mantra to every day. So we want to bring that approach to every practice. And then when we get in a game, every pitch and every inning, making sure we're not looking too far down the road, focusing on the task at hand and making sure we complete that to the best of our ability. And the last thing, we just got to believe in one another. We got a great team. I'm really excited about this group and what we can do. And it's a long season. As long as we stay close and together, I think we can accomplish what we want to here.
Anthony, thanks for being here. Best of luck this season.
Appreciate it, Jeremy.
With me now is Gerard Savarese, senior lacrosse captain from Lutherville, Maryland. Gerard, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
We've got some highlights from last Wednesday's game against Salisbury. The Generals lost to the second-ranked Seagulls 7-4. You've had close losses against Wittenberg and Denison as well. How pleased have you been, though, with the way WNL has competed against NCAA caliber teams?
Looking at the talent of who we played and going back comparing it to seasons past, it's a big opening. Going against Salisbury, which is the number 2 team in the country, and Denison, which is 13, and Wittenberg, which is obviously a very solid team, and I think they'll be in the top 20 eventually closer to the end of the year. But it's definitely a confidence builder, and it allows the team to mature. And in each game, we definitely could draw positives from it. We haven't really put a full game together yet, but I think going forward, I think that's something we are definitely capable of doing.
What will the Generals need to do to win those competitive games?
Really, it's nothing special. In the middle of the field, we just need to really take care of the ball better a little bit. There's moments when our offense is flowing, when we're very patient, and our defense has been very strong. I mean, in the Salisbury game, we held them to 7 goals, which for them, I think, is the lowest in their past 3 years. So there are very positives there, and something that we're very capable of doing. But it's nothing special. I think just playing within themselves and just finding a sense of confidence and knowing that we could do it, I think we'll be all right.
You're currently sidelined with a knee injury. How are you and the Generals coping with that?
I think the team will be fine. We're lucky to have a very deep midfield, and with Luke Heinzen coming back and Luke Walter returning to health, it just adds even more depth. And we have younger guys that are really taking the opportunity to take on larger roles. So as a team aspect, I don't think it's much to worry about. For myself, it's definitely something to get used to. Wasn't really prepared for it, but there's definitely other ways where I could help lead the team and help motivate the guys. And you never know, I could be back at the end of the year and hopefully provide a spark right before the playoffs.
ODAC play starts in just over 2 weeks at Hampton-Sydney. What kind of expectations do you have for the conference this spring?
The ODAC looks very competitive. Sydney last week beat Gettysburg, which is a very, very large win for them. And then you always have Roanoke and Lynchburg, which are other 2 strong powerhouses. So going into it, I really think with the team improving, I think we could really run the table with them. I don't think anybody really wants to play us. I think that's consistently every year. So I'm very optimistic going forward, and with just gaining that confidence and with the team maturing, I think we'll be able to do very well.
Gerard, thanks for joining us here, and we wish you a full and speedy recovery with the knee.
Thank you.
On Friday, the men's and women's tennis teams take on ODAC rival Randolph-Macon. Women's tennis will also compete at the ITA National Collegiate Indoor Championship this weekend at Gustavus Adolphus College, starting with a matchup against Denison on Friday. There's more tennis on Saturday as the Generals face Emory and Henry and Virginia Wesleyan. Baseball hosts Lynchburg for an ODAC doubleheader, while women's lacrosse entertains third-ranked Franklin and Marshall, and men's lacrosse visits Washington College. And on Sunday, baseball meets Gettysburg for a doubleheader at 1 p.m. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.